tried to start a video and like everything goes wrong? This is this video. Yeah, it was a bummer. But hey, we're here. You know what time it is? Manga Haul time. So the manga that we'll start off with, it was in my Barnes & Noble video, so you can kind of skip this part. They're all in the timestamps down below. But yeah, if you haven't checked out that video, these are the manga I picked up at a Barnes & Noble. Tokyo Babylon. If you don't know, this is from Clamp, who also wrote X. I believe this is actually a character from X. I haven't read that series yet. I really actually want to. I know that they have the omnibus like format for those. But I'm going to be honest, man, I did not know what to expect. I have heard some people talk about this series before, or that they were excited that it was getting like these physical premium collection. But the story is kind of about this guy who can like hunt down spirits, kind of like a spirit detective. No, not that one. A different one. And he's teamed up with like his sister and a veterinarian. And it's kind of this comedy series. Like, I actually really thought the comedy played very well in this series. The art kind of shows its age. It's an older series, but that's also not a bad thing, because I think there can be something charming about looking at older series. I always enjoy reading like older series, and it has the charm to it. I was not expecting it to be so funny. And the characters are really good. The brother-sister thing, the veterinarian and the brother, because hey, a little love story in there. and I don't know if the brother's like into it, but he's kind of into it though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like by the end of this, I was like, nah, this dude's kind of into it. That's what I believe. You know, that's where I'm at. And very likable characters, interesting premise, and the cases are kind of fun. And especially the one in the chapter. I'm not gonna spoil anything about it, but some of the cases by the end of it has a lot of heart to it. And there are some really good, like, dramatic moments mixed in with this trio of characters. And I honestly cannot wait to read more of this series when it gets released. The other series I picked up is A Boy's Abyss. Let me tell you, this is one of those series, anytime a volume comes out, I pick it up immediately, I read it immediately. If you want to talk about doing teenage angst, which kind of plays into another series we'll talk a little later on in this video, that I don't think pulls it off nearly as well. But while it's highly dramatized and very dark and very like shocking in a lot of ways and controversial in others, and it does take it to an extreme level, there's something about these characters and this world, and the art is amazing. Like, I'm going to use this word, I don't use it often. I'm enthralled with this story and to see where it goes. And that's why, like, this is one of the only series I pick up the volume from the store, or not Right Stuff anymore. Right Stuff's gone. We have the Crunchyroll store now, which some of these came from the Crunchyroll store, and, you know, packaging was okay. Listen, we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? It's not that video, but this is one, dude, it gets into my possession, and I read it like that night. I don't know really what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I think that this series could be very special. And I think some of the topics that they discuss and try to tackle, they do it in a really smart and interesting way that I can't wait to see how it plays out. I know I think there's been like over 100 chapters now, and this only goes to like chapter 20. So these physical volumes have a ways to catch up. To the ones that I haven't read yet, from Barnes & Noble, Attack on Titan. You know, that anime just ended, and people seem to enjoy it. And this is the final volume of the manga that just got released in these omnibus formats. So, man, I need to read that Attack on Titan. I hear it's pretty good. So it's okay, that Attack on Titan. People like it. Candy and Cigarettes Volume 5. This is a great noir style story. I'm actually not on Volume 5, not even on Volume 4. I'm actually on Volume 3. But I really do enjoy it, and it scratches that itch of like detective noir story in a very fun way. Next one is Cat Gamer. Hear me out. This series is good. All right, listen. I say it in every video that I bring this up. I know people kind of like, I've seen some hate online of this series, and that bums me out. But it's a great comedy series, and I think it plays to its audience and what it's like, not even making fun of, but, you know, that shut-in otaku, video game player, but it doesn't do it in like taking a jab at it. I think it's doing it in love with it. In reverence. That's the word I was looking for. Reverence. In reverence of playing like video games and that culture. And I think it does a great job in being heartwarming, funny, and just kind of like a light, easy read. And I really enjoy this series, but I do have a cat, so I guess I'm biased. And then Blood on the Tracks, Volume 14. Hear me out. I need to catch up to this series because I believe, I could be wrong. I thought this might have been the last volume. I think there's like one more, but this is finished now. So it's either one more volume, two more volumes. We're very close to the end. I need to catch up and read this series. I've talked about Blood on the Tracks before. And the author himself, Oshimi, you're either going to like his stuff or not like his stuff. He's a very polarizing author. I really enjoy his stuff. But boy, you have to be in a certain mood for that, and especially for Blood on the Tracks. Now for another series I picked up. I didn't even know this was coming back. I saw on Twitter it came back. I went to Barnes & Noble online and picked it up. I have heard this series in anime form, but it finally got, I guess they got a reprint of the hardcover editions, Steins Gate. I've already read all this. Here's the thing, man. One, this is a great addition. It's like hardback, feels great, awesome, right? Awesome way to pick this up. I didn't know what to expect in the series because Steins Gate, at least in anime form, it is made like a lot of people's top 10 lists. I think it starts off incredibly slow, like setting up a bunch of stuff. But I think the payoff and the story it tells by the end of it is really impressive. But again, it is 100%. It is 22 chapters. I didn't love it for 10 of those 10, 11 of those chapters. But then, chapter 12, 13 comes around and stuff starts to get moving and stuff starts to pay off, and all this setup from half of this series starts to get into play. And I do think that it's like a special series. It's kind of a time travel-y series. He's trying to change the past. But with changing the past, so many things go wrong. And him kind of almost going into insanity, like being the only one that can remember certain timelines and starts branching off into different timelines. It can get confusing. But I think that if you like those sci-fi time travel stories, and you've probably heard of this already, but Steins Gate, but this, especially this edition, like it's just all right here in this nice hardcover. You can't beat it. So now let's power through real quick. Again, it's all in timestamps down below, so you can skip this part. But these are the series that I always pick up, and you've definitely heard of them. But let's just crank through it. Spy Family, Volume 10. Spy Family, pretty good. We're going fast, man. ChainSawMan, Volume 12. Hey, you heard of that Chainsaw Man? It's pretty good. I have actually heard a lot of people say Volume 12. I don't know, maybe not. Black Clover, Volume 33. Hear me out. Black Clover is one of the better Shonen Jump series going right now. Technically not a Shonen Jump series anymore. Moved to Giga. So, monthly releases. This is going to be the last volume for about 6 months. All right, Black Clover. Another monthly release, Dragonball Super, Volume 19. I've already read this online. Hey, Dragon Ball Super. It's not, I don't dislike it as much as a lot of other people. It's kind of fun and goofy and, not that serious. Dragon Ball Super, it's all right. One Piece, Volume 104. Don't look at this cover if you're not current, but don't worry because it's already been spoiled for you because the anime already did this thing. So hey, listen, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's pretty cool. What's happening in this volume of 104? Hey, Luffy. Hear me out, Pirate King. One Piece, you've heard of it. Definitely, if you've been hanging around this channel, you've definitely heard of One Piece. All right. But one that, I don't pick up as often because they don't get released as often. Asadora, Volume 7. Urasawa is one of my favorite authors in manga. I think 20th Century Boys is near perfect, in my opinion. And it's one of the first series that I read. And again, this might be rose-colored glasses, but it was really special to me. Asadora is, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's tough, dude. I will always support their work. I blindly follow. You know what I mean? You got a blank check from me because I love 20th Century Boys that much. And I also hear, I haven't checked it out yet, I hear that monster is pretty good. Pluto is good as well. It just got an anime on Netflix, and I hear the anime is good. But Asadora is kind of like, it's almost a monster story in a way, but he has this ability to, you think it's this type of genre and this type of story, and he can pivot it, or at least make characters so interesting that it almost transcends the genre that he approaches in the first few volumes. He does it with 20th Century Boys. He might do it with Monster. I don't know. I need to read that series. And he does it with Pluto. And that's kind of like what he's known for, and what he excels at, in my opinion. So I don't know how long Asadora is going to be, if we're getting close to, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a super long series, but I almost feel like I can't judge Asadora until the end, until I see what he is cooking, as the kids say. Hold on, let him cook, you know. But yeah, Urasawa is one of the best writers currently in manga, in my opinion, and I'll follow him and where he's taken Asadora to the bitter end, man. And I hope it pays off, and I have a feeling it probably will. And now for my final Right Stuff anime thing that was actually delivered by Crunchyroll. It had it on the postage and everything. First one, Okinawa. I'm actually, you know, a little ways through this. Again, this is definitely an older series, and the art style shows, but this is so interesting, man. Here's the thing. I really like history set stories. Same reason that I really enjoy Vinland Saga and stuff like that. You give me a good history. This is set during World War II on the island of Okinawa, and it kind of is small tales. I don't know if they intertwine later, but small tales of people on the island and kind of what the island went through during that time. And I think one of the best things about history set fiction, or nonfiction even, is to give it a human story. And this is what this does. These short stories, like there's one story, and these might be true stories, because at the end of some of them, or maybe all of them that I've read so far, there is like a paragraph at the end, and it makes it seem like this author got stories from people that were living in Okinawa during this time, or at least maybe like, you know, a descendant of those people or something. And there is one about this mother protecting her child from like this army, like, and doing in this cave, and they come across, or someone comes across them, and the dialogue that the mother has of like, we're not going out there at night, not with, you know, those armies and, you know, those savages. Please just let us stay here. And, you know, kind of, I'm never going to do justice of what that dialogue is, so I'm not going to try to, you know, even try, right? But adding that humanness and seeing through the eyes of these characters kind of what war did. When we think of war, we sometimes think of, wow, this video is going to go dark. Manga haul time, right? Oh, geez. No, but I think it's so interesting, and I want you to know what this is, just in case this might interest you. Maybe you haven't heard of it, and this interests you, right? Doing stories where the breadth of what war actually does damage to people is incredibly powerful. Doesn't really matter where it's set, you know what I mean? But setting it in like World War II and seeing how this affects people, and another story kind of early on, right? I think it might even be one of the first ones, is kind of this mayor, and the people are coming and kind of occupying the thing, and they don't believe in the war, and they kind of want nothing to do with it. And as a person of power, when everyone looks to you for that decision, do you put your area, your town, whatever, in jeopardy and stand on what you believe? Or do you kind of do what's best and try to protect the people that look to you for protection? While the art style might not be amazing and maybe shows its age, I think, and I hope, again, I'm not very far into it, but this could hold some very powerful, well-told stories. At least for, you know, I've read like 7 of them. It's also thick. It's like, you know, boy. But it feels good. I like actually the size and the pages and things like, I like this size. It could be very powerful. And I'm super glad to have picked this up. And I think it's very, very interesting to pick something up and to show what the stories manga can tell in kind of a different medium. It's not like Shonen Jump. It's not shoujo. It's nothing. It seems very historical, and it's cool to see this medium be doing something different. I know it's done it before because, again, this is old, right? But it's one of the first times I've read something like this, and I'm super enjoying it, taking my time with it. The next one that I haven't read, The Deer King. Apparently, this was a film. I'm going to be honest with you. I had a coupon for Right Stuff when it was closing down. I liked this cover. That's how far I got. Deer King, I don't. Could be good. Could be good. Could be bad. I had a coupon. This is coupon buy. Hey, coupon buy. That's what this is. A series that I have seen a bunch of people pick up and talk about and enjoy. WindBreaker. Haven't read it yet. But people seem to dig it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what it's about. I had a coupon. Did I tell you that earlier? I had a coupon for Right Stuff. It was closing down. It was like, hey, coupon. Plus, I think they had to deal everything that was in stock. This was in stock, all right? That and Deer King, these were in stock, all right? One that I have read, and if you remember The Boys Abyss earlier in the video, River's Edge. I read this whole thing. Okay. Might as well turn off the video now, because hold on to your seats. River's Edge. 1, the artwork is not good. And I know it's older, right? I believe it's older. It's not good. 2, I totally get it. There's teenage angst. We've seen it in, TV shows, books, novels, all the time, right? Understand. But for me, because people might enjoy it, I should probably tell you the premise first, right? The premise of River's Edge is we follow this main character. We actually follow a group of characters, but it's really through her perspective. And it's honestly, well, here's the thing. You have to have archetypes, okay? And this is what I don't like about these archetypes are archetypes. It's not like we're going to start with this archetype and really do something unique and cool and go in a different direction with these archetypes. They are cookie cutter Dawson's Creek archetypes, but like horrible human beings, like not good people. None of them. It devolves and go to places, and I'm not going to go into it because it's honestly probably stuff that YouTube would strike down this video for, right? So I get it, right? Like they're struggling with stuff. They're broken people, so you're not supposed to like understand, I guess, or maybe you can understand because you've maybe been in situations like that before. But I just felt myself being like, this feels like an after-school special. Given, boy, it's not an after-school special you can watch at school because there's a lot of things in this series. Boy, it goes places. It goes to dark places, and it's too dark. That's the thing, okay? It feels like you can't breathe. It doesn't give you time to breathe. You're following this story, and it's like, no, be sad, be disgusted, be this, be that, and it's just boom, boom, constantly, back to back to back to back. And while, people praise like Goodnight Pun Pun, right? Because that's kind of what that series is no, you think you're out of it? Life sucks, life sucks, life sucks, life sucks, life sucks. So, so it's a weird thing because this is legitimately like, your life sucks. The people around you are horrible people. They're trash people. Blah, 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 blah. And maybe I just wasn't in the right mind space to read something like that. But I also think I have to say, like, when you have characters that don't even feel like real characters. And the boyfriend sucks. Here's the thing. Then she's like, feels bad for the boyfriend, so she ends up sleeping with the boyfriend. Even though the boyfriend, let me tell you, that's actually, here's the thing, and what we're getting at, the boyfriend, sucks. How can anybody be attracted to that dude? Let me tell you. Couldn't be me. Nope. So maybe it is a good story because it gets me that aggravated about that character, I guess. And he is the glaring character in this book that I just could not stand. So while I don't think it's like perfect and good, I don't even think it's good, actually, because I think it's just too dark, depressing. And every single character, there's not really a likable thing about them. And maybe that's the purpose of their story. Maybe that's what they wanted to write. If so, they nailed it. Even with a depressing story, I have to have a character to latch onto. I didn't have it in this. And there was a bunch of characters. I do think that it tackles very, very taboo and touchy subjects. I think it does it okay. But for some reason, I just found myself, as I was going through, it's about 300 pages. And by the end of it, I thought, I'm not moved one way or another. And I think maybe that's one of the worst things you can say about a story. Because even if you just utterly was like, oh, that's trash. You know, I just didn't connect with me, didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. Or, yeah, it's amazing. But to be in that meh category for a story like this, I think, is one of the worst things I could say about it. The day Hikaru died. Volume 2. I really like the first volume of this series, even though it's hard for me. Hikaru? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks. You're the best. I really enjoyed this first volume. I think the art is fantastic. I think the story is so interesting. And the way that it blends, like, it's almost like a horror story in a cool way. And I cannot wait to read this second volume. I haven't read it yet. Also, I love these covers. These covers are some of the best. I really like this blue. I think I said that when I got the first volume. I like this blue a lot. So yeah, I can't wait to read this story. I think it can go very interesting places. And for the final thing I picked up, a Promised Neverland box set. It's 20 volumes. I have read 10 of them. One, I think the box set is gorgeous. I think it's fantastic. It's got a lot of art on it. It's got this little mini booklet that looks like a short story type of thing. Got the posters, you know, the classic box set stuff. I watched a little bit of the anime. I watched maybe 3 or 4 episodes, and I really enjoyed it. I just was like, oh, I'll get to it eventually. And then I heard season 2 came out, and boy, went down the tubes, as they say. It was not good, not well received. So I kind of just wrote it off, and something happened. I was like, you know, I remember really liking those first few episodes. So logically, pot committed to the box set. It's probably a smart move. That's why you watch this channel. Smart financial decisions. I understand. But I'm so glad I did. I absolutely love it. I think the first few volumes take a while to set up kind of the world that they live in, and, you know, their plan and some of the characters and all. They're juggling a lot of plates right off the beginning. Because if you don't know, it's about a group of children that live in this orphanage that, instead of being adopted by parents, which they're told happens, they're fed to demons. As you can see, some kids find out about it, and they are not excited about it, so they got to get out. And I'm not going to say anything more, you know? But if you know, by volume 10, you kind of know where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I think it's first few volumes, I was like, ooh, did I make a mistake pot committing? About volume 3, volume 4, you're like, oh, no, I did not. Because it makes for, especially if you think about a Shonen Jump series, some of the stuff they do with some of the main characters. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you know, you know. You got to applaud them for it. And I don't know if they're going to, you know, retcon some decisions early on. It looks like where I'm at right now, that is definitely the case, but I hope not. Because you got to give them credit for, you know, early on doing some interesting choices and setting up an interesting dynamic with the characters. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I am so glad that I ended up buying this box set. I have been devouring these volumes. If you're looking for a story that reminds me of the good things about, like, stuff like The Walking Dead, while zombies and stuff are not really my thing, I watched like the first season of Walking Dead, about where I stopped and stuff, but a story really about, like, surviving the world around you. I think Promised Neverland is very, very good. and it sets up such an interesting world. And what I did enjoy about it, as while it does a lot of info dumpy stuff in the beginning, letting you know about the world as you're going through the story, and it's opening up, like you think you know what's going on, and then it kind of opens this other door and goes in this other direction. You're like, oh, what? No, are you kidding? That's kind of what's going on right now. This is what's really going on. And the premise is ever evolving, and I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know where this story goes, but I'm really interested to see. So yeah, that is my manga haul video. I was going to say of this month, but it's like of the last 3 months, because I haven't uploaded a manga haul video in a while, but so hopefully you enjoyed. But as always, let me know what you're reading down in the comments down below. And as always, I hope if you're having a bad day, it gets better. If you're having a good day, it becomes fantastic. I'll see you next time.